Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to talk about Biomutant and the reviews that are out now. I haven't watched any of the reviews yet because I want to be able to put my review out and here in a couple of days, and give you my honest opinion without feeling rushed or feeling like I gotta hurry up and get this done so that I can get it out. But I do want to talk about a couple things right here because on Metacritic, it's sitting at a 62. Okay. Then you got Analista de Beats that does that analyzes the visuals and stuff. He's got Xbox Series X sitting at 4K 60. Xbox Series S sitting at, what was that, 1440p 30 and 1080p 60. And then PlayStation 5 was sitting at the 1080p and up in 60 frames a second, but we all know that's upscaled to the 4K right now, due to the limitations of, well, not limitations, just the way the PlayStation 5 handles backward compatibility. So it's not the developers that are the ones that are screwing this up. It's just the way the PS5 handles the upscale code from the PS4 Pro. Experiment 101 has already said that there will be a next-gen version. It is unclear though. As of my knowledge, I haven't seen anything that says that it will be a free upgrade or not. I would think that they would do that though, because especially if it's going to come out so soon, that would be really, really, really bad, like really bad PR if they charged you for an upgrade after buying this game, especially after confirming that there is a next-gen upgrade. I don't see them doing that. That would look really, really bad. So let's talk about this 62 from Metacritic, okay? We have seen this a lot of times, okay? I mean, we can't rule out that because of the performance or the visual quality on the PlayStation 5, we can't rule out being review bombed. Like, we definitely can't rule that out. But here's my take on it, okay? This game is a pretty ambitious game, okay? I've really tried to avoid spoilers and stuff, but I have looked, I like watching Analista de Beats, his video on the on stuff, like, them visuals look pretty good. I mean, that to me, like, I'm pumped. I want to explore this world. That looks really freaking good to me. I'm not even. This is an open world game, okay? And as far as I understand, the review codes for this didn't go out until like just yesterday sometime. So basically all these reviewers had maybe a day, maybe well, I don't know, 15, 16, 17 hours to go ahead and put together their review. An open world game this size, like, you got to take all of these reviews with a grain of salt, okay? Because if they all got the exact time, like less than 20 hours to play and review this game, can you honestly, like, I know that I put 60, 70, 80 hours into open world games easy. That's without even getting bored with nothing to do, because if the bigger the world, the more I can explore, the more things I can see, the more I can just be in that world and have fun. Like, I can sink 60, 70 hours into these games, no freaking problem, depending on how big the world is. This Biomutant world looks freaking amazing. Like, everything I've seen, like, I'm pumped. I want to explore this world. 8 square kilometers. Like, I cannot wait. I'm so, like, yeah, like, I want to see this. But, I mean, can you really explore a game like that and give an honest review after maybe 15 hours of being in the world? I mean, if you get into it and you like the game and like it's fun and you're like really in it, like I mean, I could definitely see like coming away from it, you know, for a minute to make a video and be like, hey, you know what, this is good. I'm hooked. I'm gonna keep playing. Do I think they should give a full review after that? Probably not. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like I'm a little disturbed about this. I mean, but I have a soft spot for open world games. I usually can spend a lot of time in these without even breaking a sweat, without even doing like side quests or main quests or anything like that. Like I spent, gosh, what was it, 80 hours? 80 hours playing the Ghost of Tsushima. I just loved exploring that world. It was freaking beautiful. Tell me it wasn't. It was beautiful. I loved exploring that world. Gosh, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. I've already put well over 130, 40 hours into that. Just playing around, you know, trying to get and see everything. Assassin's Creed, I spend hundreds of hours in those. I love open world games mainly for the exploration. So when I do give a review for an open world, like a lot of my review for that game is the exploration of that open world, because why else would you play an open world game if you don't want to explore that big open world? Like, I don't understand. I mean, just thinking about like the combat and stuff that this game has and what I've seen, like it looks like it could be pretty deep. So I don't know if you could really like find everything there is to find in like 15, 16 hours before putting out a review. So I was on Twitter most of the day today, you know, looking at, you know, just like people that I normally follow and, you know, seeing it pop up and they're just like, oh, this is a terrible game, bad game. Like, I can't recommend this. And I'm like, ooh, gosh, man. But these same people told you Returnal was great. So I don't know what to believe, okay? I mean, some of these reviewers, you know, I'm about at a 50-50 with them, you know, like 50% of the time they get it right, 50% of the time they get it wrong. And as a reviewer, like there's a certain amount of like give and take that you can hit and not hit for people to like to start to like, you know, see through it, you know? I mean, like if I was to recommend games to you all the time and like, you know, like 3 of them are good and then the next one's bad and then 3 of them are good and then the next one's bad, like you're still going to watch my content because I'm hitting, you know, a pretty good sweet spot. I'm hitting, you know, 3 out of 4 games that you're liking that I recommended to you. So, but if that number starts to go closer to the 50-50 line, then you're like, wait, what's not clicking, man? What, like, how can I like this 50% of games and him not like them, or how can he not like these games and I like them? Like, there's something, you know, that starts to, when you get to that point, then it gets a little bit harder, you know, to just take people at face value. Especially now that these games are like $70 for PlayStation games, and like a lot of these guys that are saying Biomutant is bad are the same ones that told you that Returnal was great. Returnal is a niche game, okay? Like I've played it. I don't hate it. I don't hate Returnal, but it's a niche game. Like you have to be into that whole punishment, bullet hell, roguelite. Like you have to be into that to play it. Me, like I mean, I understand that, and I'm like, I'm not terrible at games, but I kind of feel like it's not balanced, because as much as they throw at me in that first biome and then like that far after getting into those levels, I think, to me, I feel like the balance is a little bit off. I don't think it should be that extreme. So and see, that's the thing, like the longer I've been in that biome, the more extreme it started to get. So maybe that is worked into the code, and like if you screw up a lot, it just gets unridiculously like too hard, and then like you can't like you can't play it. Or, you know, I mean, I could see Returnal being, my biggest thing is $70. Okay, if Returnal was $50, I probably wouldn't have been that upset about it, and I probably would have enjoyed it more. But I mean, $70 with the visuals not looking, like with the visuals being all over the place with that, like 1080p upscaled, like you can still see that game is 1080p. Like, yeah, the character looks sharp, you know, most of the time. When you're in movement, it doesn't look bad. But when you stop and look around, everything starts to fall apart. Like the visuals are blurry. Everything is just like, I don't hate Returnal, but I don't love it enough to where I think it was worth $75. I mean, $50 I think is an honestly great price for that game. It should have been marketed as a AA game at $50, and like, I wouldn't have a problem with it. And then yeah, but I mean, these people told you that Returnal was great, and if you don't know what a roguelike is and you don't know what kind of experience you're about to get into, like, you're going to hate wasting that $70 on a game that you can't play. If you think Dark Souls is hard, Returnal's like way harder than that. Like a lot harder, and it's more unforgiving. Way more unforgiving. So, if you think Dark Souls is hard, don't go with Returnal. I don't think it's going to be one of those games that you're going to be able to enjoy, because it's going to get frustrating. But the gameplay, oh my gosh, the gameplay is fun. Like it is addicting, and like the more you do it, but gosh, there's like a certain amount of time, like a point where you're like, no, I don't want to do it. And if you get farther, like into like the second biome or the third biome, and you die and you have to go all the way back to the first one, you're going to hate that game. You're going to go through controllers, trust me. I mean, but let's get back to this Biomutant. Like, I'm pretty hyped for Biomutant, okay? I like this game. I have a soft spot for open world games. And when I see people bashing this as hard as they are for like a new developer, you know, this is their first big project, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was super ambitious for them. You know, for 20 people, 25 people, however many were making this game, I'm pretty sure that game was super ambitious for them. And the world looks amazing. They're gonna keep updating it and fixing things. Like, they're like I don't know. I mean, I personally bought the game for $60. I have no problem with that. I'm gonna get my money's worth out of exploring that big world, okay? Like, I'm gonna get my money's worth. I don't recommend like completely like sidelining this game and not looking at it, because some of these reviewers that are saying it's bad, these guys got a lot of influence, really, you know. Like, I questioned one of them, you know, on Twitter today, and like his little followers, you know, they jumped to his defense, and like, I'm not gonna say his name because like who cares? Like, he's way bigger than I am. Like I don't care, dude. I mean, if that's the way he wants to run his thing, you know, it is what it is. But I don't think like 20 hours is really enough time to review an open world game. And I mean, if THQ and them gave them that code, you know, like with only 20 hours to review it, or 15 hours or whatever the heck they had, that's not enough time. Like, they did that to themselves too by forcing reviewers to give people a bad review, because I get it, you know, their name's on it, you know, I mean, but open world games, unless there's like some terrible stuff wrong with them, like they're just garbage. Like Cyberpunk 2077. If you were watching my show, that like if I was doing a review on Cyberpunk 2077 right now, from my experience when I played through it day one on my Series X, I would have only reviewed that for my Xbox Series X, and that was a pretty decent experience. It wasn't too bad. I didn't go running off and doing a whole bunch of side stuff. I pretty much just stuck to the main campaign, and the experience, the story, and everything. Like, I thought it was good. Like, I'm satisfied with the experience that I got from Cyberpunk 2077. But when I deviated and would go out and like just do things, like it started falling apart pretty quickly. Like, after I beat the game and I got back in there and I was running around doing shit, like, it falls apart quickly. If you don't have something to go do, like, the world does start falling apart pretty quickly, you know. Like, the NPCs are stupid. Like, there's things in that game, like, I could find a million things to nitpick, but that experience of just doing the single player campaign, me personally, I felt that was more than worth, you know. Like, I felt satisfied. Like, I didn't feel cheated. I am getting a next gen version when they're done with that. Like, I was pretty heated when I bought that game in December, and they told me that it's like, next like end half of the year for that update, like I was pretty heated. Like I went to town on Twitter about that, and I didn't refund my copy. I could still refund that copy, but I choose not to because I know I have faith that CDPR is going to fix that game, and I like that experience, and I feel like they messed up. Like they did. They should have told people about the base consoles far before they even put that. Like that was pretty shady, but. Then again, you got to think, you know, the success that they had with The Witcher. When The Witcher 3 came out, it wasn't exactly like perfect on those base consoles. Like it was pretty rough. Like it was pretty rough, you know. So they just thought, well, you know, I mean, it's like I get it. Like I understand. They probably didn't think they were putting out a worse product than what they did with The Witcher 3. And The Witcher 3, you know, turned out to be amazing. Like it's literally one of my top games. Like over my whole life. Like Witcher 3 is one of those games that are in that top 10 for me. Like I love that game. Like it's amazing. I love the world. I love the characters. I love everything that went into that. I loved the experience so much. I've played through it like 3 times, and that's not a short game, you know. I beat all the DLC and everything on that. Like I love that freaking game. It was good. So Biomutant. Do I think that these reviews are justified? Like, gosh, you know, chances are I'm going to be more than satisfied with this just because of how beautiful that world looks. And that's not even taking into consideration the like kung fu combat, the acrobatic feel of the like that's cool. I like that. Like I still long for games that played like the first couple of Devil May Cries, you know, like I like those hack and slash type games. Like I like them. They're fun. Like I don't ever really get tired of the combat in those. And having a big open world to explore with that, like that is interesting to me. That gets me hyped. I mean, I'm not really into the whole furry looking character thing, like, but I can get over that. Like that's not a big deal. Like I am hyped for this game, and seeing all that stuff and knowing that I got to go to work every day and come home and then see that stuff while I'm at work and stuff, like it's really disappointing because they don't even try. They just put these lines out like Biomutant, the game nobody should ever play, and just right there in the heading, it's like, okay, cool, you know. I mean, like I get, you know, the whole wanting people to watch your video and stuff, but let's just hope that I never turn out to be like that as my channel grows and as things grow, because I like video games are very like, dude, they're a hobby for me. That's something that I love. Like video games have been with me since I was a kid, and I always want them to be with me, and I don't want to just be in the medium to destroy and bring stuff down, because the more we criticize stuff like Biomutant when it comes out, the more safe the developers start playing. And then pretty soon we're all going to be playing games on a freaking cell phone, because who cares? They're garbage games. Nobody cares, but little kids will sit there and put their mom's credit card in there. Like, if we don't constructively criticize the developers without completely trashing their whole world, like, why would they ever take chances? Why would they ever grow? I mean, like, everything Sony puts out these days are safe. Everything is safe. They don't take chances anymore. They don't innovate really anymore. Ratchet and Clank being able to like jump from world to world, like, is that really innovative? I mean, honestly, like, do we really like? I mean, it sounds cool, but it also sounds really gimmicky to be able to like fly through the air and then poof, you're into another world. Like, yeah, it's cool, but you know, making that loading that fast, like, yeah, that's cool, but is that really innovative? Like, you're going from one open space shooting things and doing stuff to another one that looks completely different, but you're still doing the same thing. I mean, mixed with a good story and everything, like, yeah, I think that the Ratchet and Clank is going to be good, and I'm really looking forward to that, because I'm really hoping that Ratchet and Clank can restore my hype for the PlayStation 5, because honestly, I bought all my games for Xbox and I've only bought basically some racing games and exclusives for my PlayStation. So, yeah, I haven't really gotten a chance to really play a lot of my PlayStation. And like I've been talking to people on my channel today, comments and stuff, and I mean that makes sense, because I haven't put as much time into it and I haven't really played it. I mean, I've went back and checked all the games out that have gotten updates and stuff, but gosh, they're Sony games. They're like one and done games for me most of the time. I do want to play through Ghost of Tsushima again, and then and like drastically reduce the amount of time I spent on that game because I took so long beating it that it was just so drug out. But if I just focus on like the story and get through all that, I want to see how that experience goes a lot quicker. But yeah, like most of the time, like, I mean, I wish that Sony would do like visual revamps for this, because we all saw what the PlayStation 4 Pro could do with Sony first party games. Yeah, like we saw what they could do with that. Now let's see what they can really do on the PlayStation 5. That's what I want to see from Sony. But yeah, this Biomutant thing, like I'm a little. I mean, like if it's a bad game, like it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know if. I don't know if I think the reviews on this are fair. Like, I'm going to find out soon enough. I already bought the game. I own it. I might actually still get that code from the developers, to stream the game. I don't know. He said he was trying to get more codes. I've been talking to him all day about getting the code. He's been like talking to me back and stuff. So that's pretty cool. Like, I might actually still get a PlayStation code, because that would be cool. Then I could give you. I mean, I might actually just buy it on PlayStation if he doesn't give me a code, just so I can, review it on the channel. But, or I might just stick to the Xbox version. But I got a lot of PlayStation guys that watch the channel too, and I want to be able to give them an accurate representation of what they can expect. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it's getting a next-gen update. It's going to be fine. I'm pretty sure these developers are going to work on this for a little while. I don't see them just coming out and then putting the game out and then dropping it without fixing anything that's broken. I do believe they're going to still continue to work on this and make it a decent experience. So, yeah, I mean, I'm comfortable with the money I spent with it. I feel that I'm more than going to get my time playing. My money's worth playing this game. Like, this world looks beautiful. It looks amazing. I want to explore it and look at everything and and partake in the combat and stuff and learn what's going on. Like I do. I'm generally interested in this game and I want to play it. I'm glad that there's a lot of people out there. I saw a lot of people on Twitter today saying, hey, I don't care what you say. I'm still going to buy the game. It looks amazing. Yes, that is the attitude. Quit letting these freaking people tell you what you like and what you don't like. You need to play these games for yourself. The best thing I'm going to do when I give you a review is I'm going to tell you, hey, man, like the game looks good. Okay, that's, that's one of the main things I review on this channel is the visuals. I'm like, yeah, these visuals are gonna blow me. They blew me away. So they have a good chance of blowing you away. Everybody has different tastes and stuff. So yeah, from what I've seen, like I'm already excited. Like I want to play this game. I'm gonna tell you, is the story coherent? I'm not gonna tell you anything about the story. I'm not gonna tell you anything about the characters. I'm not gonna put snippets of gameplay in my review so that I can spoil stuff for you, and I'm not going to sit and whine about all the bad things. I mean, unless it's Returnal. And I mean, I don't think Returnal's a bad game. I just don't think the visuals look $70. I mean, like I'm fine with the way the visuals look, but I don't think they look like a $70 Sony first party out of the park title. Like I don't think they look that way. And like visuals are important to me. So yeah, I might bag on the visuals a little bit if the visuals don't hold up to my unrealistic standards, but hey, what else am I here for? That's what I want reviewers to tell me. I don't want them to tell me like, well, I played this and because this thing didn't work like this, and I don't need to know that information. I don't need to know that until I play the game. I want to find that stuff out for myself. I do not want you to completely spoil the game. I don't want you to tell me, I mean, like, yeah, you can tell me how long it took to beat, to give me like, kind of like an estimation or whatever, but because then I can pace myself better. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you telling me how long it took you to beat it, but I don't want you to tell me that, like, there's just a lot of details that I don't want to hear that, I'm so sick of these guys ruining for me that, oh, man, I'm just trying to be an alternative, source for reviews to let you know how to give you the least amount of information while ensuring you that you're getting a good purchase. And then after the fact, then maybe we want to sit down and have a discussion about it. That's awesome too. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.